Contact forms are a ubiquitous component of WordPress websites. By using one, you allow your visitors to message you and also avoid exposing your email to spam bots. Contact form plugins are easy to use and can get you pretty far in the creation process. However, there are some finer points that you need to do for having your form work correctly and look consistent with the rest of the website. In this tutorial, we are going to create a contact form with a CAPTCHA, configure the SMTP settings, and most importantly, improve the style of the form. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Let's get started. This is the website that we are going to use. It's my business website, the production version. It's the website you would use to contact me. So on the contact tab, there's nothing right now, but here's where we're going to add the contact form. The first thing we're going to do is go to admin panel, to plugins, and add a new plugin that is called WP Forms. This one over here, contact form by WP Forms, we install it and activate it. They have this quick start menu here that we're going to use. We go to create your first form. Here we use this template, simple contact form. Okay, this looks fine. It's very important to add a CAPTCHA, but it says here that we cannot add it right now because we haven't configured the CAPTCHA settings. So we are going to add it later. For now, just save this form. So now we exit the form and we go to settings in WP Forms plugin. And under the CAPTCHA tab, we have two providers, HCAPTCHA and ReCAPTCHA by Google. And here we're gonna pick invisible ReCAPTCHA, but we need to provide the site key and the secret key. So if we go to Google ReCAPTCHA, here in the console, I already created mine, but you would have to go to this plus and go through the config steps. So here in the settings, when we click on the keys, it will show the keys that need to be transferred here. I'm gonna skip ahead in the video because I don't want to expose my API keys. Okay, so now we're back. I saved the API keys in the CAPTCHA section. So now when we go back to the contact form, we click edit, and now yeah, it says it has been enabled. We see this logo here. So now we save the form. This is all good. And now we go to when we go to the web page and the contact page, we edit this page, and it should be here in the blocks, WP Forms, and we select the simple contact form. We see it was added here. So however, if we try to send an email from here, you will see that it fails because my WordPress is running in a cloud container in Amazon Lightsail, and the SMTP ports are blocked. So we need to reconfigure the SMTP settings on Apache. For doing this, we are going to use another plugin. So actually, it's also made by the same company that does WP Forms. And when we go to SMTP tab in WP Forms and we install this plugin, install WP Mail SMTP. And this allows us to provide an SMTP server to WordPress. Here, my SMTP server is from Amazon because my WordPress is hosted on Amazon. So when we go to Amazon SES, this is the product that they use. I'm gonna skip forward for the sign-in. We are in console now, so we go to SES, Simple Email Service, and on the left tab there's SMTP settings, and so we'll have here the server name, the port, and when you click create SMTP credentials, it will give you the username and password that you can then transfer here. Of course, if you're using another server like Gmail or other providers, you will have different steps. Okay, so now we save these settings, and we can send a test email to my email address to make sure that WordPress can send emails. Okay, this is the email. It is marked as potentially spam by Gmail, but we can whitelist it. So we're also going to test the actual contact form before we proceed. So let's go in here, just fill in all these fields. Let's put in a message, hello. And the CAPTCHA will work in the background, so it identifies that I typed on the keyboard the message here, and it knows I'm a user. I'm not a bot. When we click submit, we get this confirmation in here, and this is the email that I received on my email address. The problem we have with this setup is that you see that this contact form, it doesn't integrate very well in the design of the website. So for example, if you look at this button, you will see that it doesn't match the rest of the buttons in the theme, and that's what we're going to do next. We're going to try to improve a bit design of this and also the button. So what this is Adobe XD, and I'll show you what we're trying to do. So this is more or less the form, that how it looks right now. And what we want to do is change the background from white to maybe like a darker green, something like this. I think this looks a bit better in my opinion. And also this button. So if we go to the main page, we see that the main button is actually black in the beginning and black with green text, and when we hover over it is green with black text. So it's going to be something like let's see, black. Okay, and the text will be this color. So this is more or less what we're going for. Now the WP Forms has some options for styling the forms. They have options here. So I think in the settings there will be CSS classes for the form and a CSS class for the button. I tried using them but couldn't figure it out. So what we're gonna do next is just add custom CSS to the theme to style these inputs and forms. So if we go in here and we click on inspect, we see and when we go to styles, we see where the style is coming from. So the background color, this is what we're trying to change. So if we uncheck these ones, we'll see that they will all the inputs become transparent. But what we're gonna set a different color, so the darker green. So what we're gonna do, we copy this selector with the input So we copy it from here, and when we go to customize to the CSS editor. So in the additional CSS, we add the selector and the input. So the name and email, so these two first name last name fields are input type text, and we're gonna do background color. So we're gonna copy the color from Adobe XD, so it's this one, that dark green. And when we go in here, we transfer it here. So this looks good. Now we need to do the same thing for the email inputs. So email as well, and also for the text area, which is the field for the message text area. Okay, so this already looks a bit better. The next thing that we're going to do is change the style of the submit button. If we go in inspector here in this tab, and we click inspect on the button, we try to see where the background is coming from. So if we uncheck this box, we will see that the background color changes, and this means that we have the right CSS selector over here. So we're going to transfer it to our CSS editor, and just for testing it out, we're going to try to change the background color to black. Okay, good. We see that it works. So we have the right selector. Now we're going to transfer the properties of the button from the main page. So we go to the main page, we go to the CSS inspector, and we see the background color is the global color primary. Okay, so we copy this property. It is set to black, but we should use the CSS variables. And for the text color, it's global color background. And this is for color. Okay, this already looks better. However, when we hover over it, we see that everything breaks down. So we'll need to do the similar thing for the hover state of the button. Hover, and we need to swap these two colors. So from primary, we're going to use background here, and primary for the text color. Okay, this is good. And now we see that the borders are not the same ones that are being used in the main page. So we go over here, go to the computed styles, and the appearance section, we see that the borders are 3 pixels, and we can see that they are the primary color. So we add the border width property here for 3 pixels. Border color, it's going to be the primary color, and the same thing to the hover state. And if we test it, yeah, we see that already it looks the same as the button in the main page. This one has a bit more padding inside, but I think that would make the button too big for this page. So we're gonna leave it as it is. If you want to add the padding, you can go in here, and you'll see it has padding bottom 15 pixels, top 15 pixels, and left and right 30 pixels that we can transfer over here. So we click publish, and yeah, we see that the CSS style applied, and it looks much better. It fits within the design of the web page. That's it for today. I will post the source code in the video description. You can also find my website in case you need help with WordPress development. See you next time.